Hello and welcome everyone to the world of literature. This is Reenu Sikarwar. Today I'll be explaining you about the fourth chapter of First Flight book from the Diary of Anne Frank. Before I start, let me ask one question that whom you tell your secrets or who is that person you trust the most? Your answer will be your friends, right? In case you have no friends, then wouldn't you speak your mind to your diary? So, Anne Frank was such a wonderful girl who considered her diary as her best friend and she named it as Kitty. Now, let's understand this chapter through these PPTs. So, the name of the chapter is From the Diary of Anne Frank, Class 10th English. Let's see the next slide. See, such a beautiful face she had. So this is the picture of Anne Frank. She looks so exquisite. Anne Frank was a Jewish girl born in June 12, 1929 in Frankfurt. The 12-year-old Jewish girl who wrote the Diary of Anne Frank while in hiding with her family and four friends in Amsterdam during the Nazis' occupation of the Netherlands in World War II. After 2 years in hiding, the group was betrayed and transported to a concentration camp in Bergen, where Anne and her elder sister Margot died of typhus in 1945. Her father Otto, the only survivor of the group, found her diary and got it published in English under the name The Diary of a Young Girl. Now let's understand the theme of the story. The Diary of Anne Frank and the given extract is one of the most authentic works describing the atrocities committed on the Jews during the Nazis' occupation of the Netherlands in 1940s. It also provides an intimate account of daily life that her small groups led in hiding in Amsterdam. Her frankness, honesty, and sincerity of description of her parents, friends, and teachers make her writing the most important document of the Holocaust period. Now let's go deep inside. In this lesson, Anne talks about being lonely and having no one to talk to her, despite being surrounded by family and around 30 people whom she called friends. Thus, she takes the decision of writing her feelings in a diary. But she is really in need of a true friend. Thus, she decides to name her diary Kitty. Unlike other people, she is not going to mention just facts in it. She starts writing with her background to make it easier to understand for anyone reads it later. She describes her family and early childhood when they all migrated. Now she comes to the present day where she tells about her school days, especially about the result day. The boys were making bets. Anne was quite sure about herself and she had a good equation with all the teachers except her maths professor, who was constantly annoyed at her for her talking habits. Thus, he started giving her punishments in the form of essays on weird topics such as chatterbox, to which she replied with full wit. She wrote essays that were funny and explained. It was a trait that she inherited from her mother, and not much could be done. He kept on giving her essays until she wrote a satire. After that, third and the last assignment, Mr. Keeson never pointed her out for talking. See this picture where we can see her family members. The chapter gives us a brief introduction about her family, friends, and her grandmother, whom she loved a lot. You can very well see Anne Frank and her family. We can see Father Otto, Mother Edith, Anne's friends. We can see her sister Margot Frank, and the most loved one, that is her grandmother. Actually, her grandmother raised her before she joined their parents in Holland, Amsterdam. Now let's move to the last slide where we can conclude about Anne Frank. She actually proven that patience, faith and trust were triumphed over hatred, evil, cruelty and selfishness. She really cares about others, including her friends. Her diary actually changed our lives forever. So we just salute this wonderful girl. Thank you so much for listening to me very patiently.